Hi. Many folks around the country find themselves asking that question these days. What exactly do progressives stand for? They may have traditionally thought themselves Democrats, independents, or else politically disinclined in the past. They may, like myself, have been a registered Democrat, only to switch to a third party, refusing in the past election to support a Democratic candidate that was seen as being a little too far right of center for progressives. But then the Democrats lost, and we got mad, and we joined the resistance. Democrats are as much a minority party as they have ever been, and for minority parties, resistance is good and necessary, but resistance alone does not answer the question of what exactly do progressives stand for. The Democratic Party has shown its major fault line, the one that divides the establishment wing of the party and the progressive wing. The establishment, which you may know as the neoliberals, third-way Democrats, center-left, mainstream Democrats, whatever you want to call them, truly kicked off with Bill Clinton's election in 1992 and his proclamation that the era of big government was over. Defined simply, these Democrats believe in tempered free market reforms to level the playing field, combined with social liberalism. The progressives, varyingly referred to as Democratic Socialists or Bernie Bros, leftists, radicals, are best represented in the U.S. today by Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, and believe strongly in the idea that government can be an effective force for good, and that the free reign of capitalists leaves the majority of Americans worse off. They fall further to the left on most economic issues than their more mainstream Democratic brethren. Far be it for me to think I can resolve the differences between these two disparate groups. There are philosophical differences at play here that are seemingly very difficult to overcome. However, recent polling might suggest that one philosophy lines up better with the mood of the electorate today, and the other is relying more on past success while ignoring more recent trends. Despite Donald Trump being the most disliked president in modern history, in fact, a recent ABC Washington Post news poll found that 67% of Americans feel that the Democratic Party is out of touch with people's concerns. That's more than the amount of people who feel the same way about both the Republicans in general and Donald Trump specifically. In addition, a recent NBC News Wall Street Journal poll finds that 57% of Americans now say government should do more to solve their problems and help meet the needs of the people. That's the highest since the question was first asked in 1995, with the numbers rising for Democrats, independents, and even Republicans. People might still not want big government, but they want an effective one. They want a government that has the best interests at heart and enacts policies aimed at helping them. The Democratic Party has to recognize that and come together to form one progressive movement if they want to take back power. Now, the first step to doing that is answering the question that I posed at the very beginning of this video. What does the Democratic Party stand for? To answer that, we should be as simple and straightforward as we can. Anything we put forward should be easily digestible and form the basis for all messaging from the party and its candidates in races, both local and national, in the years to come. All key proposals should stem from the basis of our beliefs, and we should simply put that forward as to why voters should consider a vote for the Democrats. Simply put, it is who we are as progressives. As progressives, we generally should believe that society has a duty to take care of the neediest among us, that voting should be easy and accessible to every citizen. No barriers should be placed for legal voting. Healthcare and education are basic, undeniable rights of all Americans. Money spent on senseless military conflict can be better spent at home. America can and should be a leader in the new energy economy, not falling back on old, carbon-heavy methods of energy. Mass incarceration has no place in a modern society, and a minimum wage should be a livable wage with no exceptions. Lastly, anyone who wants to immigrate to the United States should have a legal way of doing so. And those already here, some from the time they were infants, should have a way to become legal citizens without the threat of being deported to countries they have no experience with. So those are some of my ideas. There's probably 100 more left on the list, but I won't bore you with them. I'm no longer a Democrat, and there are multiple reasons for that. But the Democratic Party is the only current viable solution to the mess we have in Washington, D.C. right now. It's my hope that the centrists in the Democratic Party take a long look at who they choose to back as their next candidate. There is a growing segment of this population that isn't pleased with the center. It doesn't want the status quo, and it's not all that trusting of the capitalist system. I hope we can move forward and maybe make some progress. Thank you.